contribute something essential to the world's civilization in the course of its own self-expression and self-realization. Raja Rajeshwaram in the Tanjavur district in Tamil Nadu has often been called a temple of temples. The Encyclopedia Britannica refers to it as the grandest temple. Built around the turn of the first millennium AD, during the heyday of Chola rule, it is one of the best expressions of artistic excellence. Built by the greatest of Chola rulers, Raja Raja, the temple was known as Raja Rajeshwaram. It later came to be known as Brihadeshwara Temple. The outer gateway is called Keralantakam Tiruvasal, the sacred gateway of Keralantaka, a title of Raja Raja I, assumed after his conquest of Kerala. The victories of Raja Raja are depicted here. A further 100 meters inwards lies the second gateway, known as Raja Rajan Tiruvasal. On either side of the gateway are some exquisite panels in low relief depicting Puranic themes like Tripura Dahana, Parvati Parinayam, and so on. As we cross the gateway, the main temple stands in its awe-inspiring splendor. If a beauteous form we view, 'tis his reflection shining through. Raja Raja identified absolute beauty with God. For the Cholas, temple building was a way of life, for the entire fabric of the society was woven around the temple. The temple is entirely of stone, not found in the region around Tanjavur. Local tradition has it that stones were brought from Kolli Hills, Neela Hills, Anamalai, Podigai Hills, and from the banks of Narmada in carts drawn by elephants. Facing the Sanctum Sanctorum is the Nandi Mandapam. It is a plain open hall with a flat roof housing the recumbent mount of Shiva, Nandikeshwara, a prodigious monolithic sculpture of realism and beauty, measuring a gigantic 3.66 meters in height and 5.94 meters in length and 2.59 meters in breadth. This Nandi is said to weigh about 25 tons. The outer wall is adorned with the figurines of small Nandis. Beholding this magnificent monument, one wonders how such varied facets of human endeavor as art and architecture, sculpture and painting, dance and music, all unified in one place, apart from etching for us detailed cameos on the life of the community of that era, its structures and norms, and festivals and tradition and law. The Dvajastambam, as tall as the Nandi Mandapam, is adorned with intricately carved designs and figurines of gods. Gargoyles and elephants are also seen at the bottom of the stambam. An interesting feature of Chola construction shows the use of ball and socket method to hold the huge stones together instead of cementing them with mortar. The main temple consists of Mani Mandapam, Ardha Mandapam and Garbhagriha. The dominant Sri Vimana measures a giant 30.175 square meters at the base. The tall, tapering pyramidal structure has 13 tiers, and at the top of the pyramid is a single granite block measuring 7.77 square meters and weighing 80 tons, a marvel of engineering in the days of no machines. The stupa, which alone is said to measure 3.8 meters in height, crowns it all. Once covered with gold sheets over copper base, the Kalasa was presented to the temple in great ceremony by Raja Raja I himself on the 27th day of his 25th regal year. There are 9 pairs of huge Dwarapalakas guarding the temple. They are all alike and magnificent in stature. At the rear side of the Sri Vimana, there are flights of stairs reaching the top, very thoughtfully constructed 1,000 years ago for future renovation and consecration. The plan of the temple is unique for its careful distribution of mass and height, depth and space, and light and shade. On the outer walls of the Ardha Mandapam, there are niches containing the images of various gods and goddesses. It is interesting to note, on the northern Vimana of Sri Chandikeshwara shrine, there are images of a foreigner, complete with a hat and shirt, and his wife in a robe. All along the Garbhagriha Devakoshta walls, niches containing the images of Shiva in different forms are seen. They are Pashupatishwara, Bhikshadana, Lingodbhava, Veerabhadra, Kalantaka, Adavallar, Ardhanarishwara, and Uma Shiva Alinganamurti. There are 252 Shivalingams in the outer corridors of this ornately carved temple. There are more than 100 inscriptions carved on the various walls in excellent calligraphy. They provide valuable information details and the various icons presented to the temple, their content, texture, quality and physical dimensions, but also on the minute details of the jewelry and ornaments presented to those icons.
பாதாதி கேசாந்தம் ஒருமுழமே பதிற்று விரல் இரண்டு தோரை உசரமும் ஸ்ரீகஸ்வம் நாளும் உடைய கணமாக எழுந்தருளுவித்த ரிஷபவாகன தேவர் திருமேனி ஒன்று ரத்னநியாசம் செய்து இவர் எழுந்தருளி நின்ற மூவிரலரை உசரம் உள்ள பத்மம் ஒன்று. இவர் நம்பிராட்டியார் பாதாதி கேசாந்தம் ஒருமுழமே ஐவிரல் உசரம் உடைய கணமாக எழுந்தருளுவித்த உமா பரமேஸ்வரியார் திருமேனி ஒன்று.
Exquisite carvings depicting various facets of dance and music, adorn the panels in the temple. The main deity in the innermost sanctum is Raja Rajeshwaram, which is in the form of an enormous monolithic plain cylindrical lingam of 1.66 meters diameter, mounted on a yoni pitam of 5.44 meters. What we see here is the sacred abhishekam or bathing ritual conducted at noon to a smaller Shiva lingam of the temple. On the first story of the vestibule round the Garbhagriha, we come upon the first ever authentic representation of the dance units or karanas described in Bharata's Natya Shastra. Only 81 karanas out of 108 have been carved in high relief in stone. What is more interesting is the depiction of karanas by Adavallar, the master of dance himself. This Temple of Temples, the creation of Raja Raja, is unique in more senses than one. It is a living national art gallery, incorporating the best elements of art and architecture. It has rightly been declared a World Heritage Monument by UNESCO. Raja Raja's memory will live as long as the Sri Vimana of the splendid temple can be seen rising to the skies.